Middle East is situated between Europe, Africa, and Asia. Don't confuse it with other terms of the East, which also include part of the north of Africa or the southern east part of Asia, arriving until India. Some of the countries that conform it are Saudi Arabia, Israel, Jordan, Yemen, and Iran. Now, what are climate refugees? Climate change has become an important model for human migration because of the implication it has for the living, putting some regions dealing with situations such as sea level rise, water availability, and extreme weather events, provoking loss of housing, of living resources, and of social and cultural resources. Even though the term climate refugees is recurrent in the media, in international law the term does not exist. A refugee is defined as a person who has crossed an international border owing to the well founded fear of being persecuted for reasons of race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular social group, or political opinion. The term climate refugee is not endorsed by the UNHCR, and it is more accurate to refer to persons displaced in the context of disaster and climate change. Once defined this, let's move on into the Middle East situation. In Middle East, the most vulnerable countries to these impacts are being Iraq, Jordan, and Syria. Even a moderated increase of the temperature in all the world of 2 degrees Celsius in the next decades will cause in the region the increase of the double of the temperature. Also, it's going to happen faster. According to the magazine Climate Change, by the year 2050, Middle East and the North of Africa will register 5 times more extremely hot days than nowadays. And in the year 2100, the heat waves are going to be 10 times more frequent. The frequency of sandstorms will increase. In only 15 years, the suspension of sand particles has increased at 70% in Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Syria, and is sure that atmospheric causing the migration of approximately 500 million people that lives in the region. Iraq is growing up on the Germans Watch Global Climate Risk Index, going from the number 159 to 93 in just 10 years related to extreme weather. Jordan is known as one of the most water-scarce countries in the world because of the practice of overpumping, which are said to exhaust underground freshwater sources by 2060. The estimated average of displaced people by climate change hazard each year is of at least 25 million, and it is expected to duplicate by 2050. So, what action is being taken? Because of the freshness of this situation, there haven't been structured concrete regulations yet for this specific type of migration, but there are actors which are key to acting this issue, such as the World Bank, which has an annual pipeline of around $1.1 billion over the next 3 years to help Yemen. Another one is the Conference of Parties and the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, which are part of the UN. To mention others, there is the Climate Change Summit, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the Group of 20, the World Meteorological Organization, the Gulf Cooperation Council, the Nansen Initiative, and the World Economic Forum. Knowing about the situation, it is important to be conscious and to demand for regulations to be taken. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and if you think you learned something new, give it a thumbs up and recommend it with your friends.